Hello, dear listener, and welcome to Zealand. The world in which we are playing in will go to some dark places. The content of this series will therefore be violent and dark in nature, so if you find yourself easily offended or are rather squeamish, please do look away. Would you run? Would you hide? Would you kill to survive?
Kia ora, guys, gals, and legionnaires. Rycon here, and welcome back to Zealand. This is Chapter 7, Part 5, The Second Chance. And we are back after some hijinks in the last, where measures were taken to try and draw the hordes away from the Marine Discovery Centre. We now return to Chloe, who you start to awaken in a dark room. The curtains are drawn, the light is barely peeking through. You can hear people moving around you, whispering to each other in hushed voices. But beneath this hushed speaking, you can hear a chorus of moans, a present sound that surrounds you. And as your eyes open further, you can see Jonah at the curtain, just peeking out slightly and closing it once again.
I'm whispering.
Okay.
Hey,
Oh, Jesus. You're awake?
No, I'm sleep talking. Yeah, I'm awake. What's going on? Are they here? Did the whole thing not work?
I don't know. But yes, there is. They're outside.
Fucking fuck. I feel for my leg. Is it still there?
It is.
Okay.
It is. And you look down, your jean leg has been completely cut off. And there is a new, much larger bandage that's wrapped around this thing.
How much pain am I in right now?
A fair bit. That leg hurts. Like the second that you actually move it and feel that it's there, it's agony.
Oh, like I definitely feel that it's there.
Yeah, and you still have a swirl, like your head, you still feel drunk.
Yeah, okay. Well, what's the plan, Jonah?
I'm not so sure. We still haven't heard from downstairs.
Oh,
I don't-
Willow's still not opened up.
No,
Oh, for fuck's sakes, we gotta go bash that door down then.
I don't think making noise right now is exactly an
We
option.
need to get in there.
I know we do. And I want to.
Have we heard from the boys?
I haven't heard anything back. No. There was some static earlier, but I didn't hear much. Just short, sharp, something about a bay.
I try and call them. Hey, you guys there?
You hear this radio? Call, come in.
Just as you start bringing the second chance around the other side of Goat Island. And in that dim light, as you've been approaching here, you see that the hills are bare. There aren't any shambling figures walking around in there. With a quick glance, it doesn't seem like
It's
there
probably
is.
like a sigh of relief, and then obviously not.
I just look over to. Are you up on the bridge?
Mm-hmm.
I just look at you and I say it's all yours.
Go ahead, check it out.
We're surrounded by zombies.
How many?
Jonah, how many? Like 15, 20? Roughly estimate.
Difficult to tell. Can't see every angle of the building. They seem to be around near the entrances for the most part, but it's roughly 15, maybe more. I can't tell.
It's about 15. It's enough that Jonah can't tell. We're on the third floor right now. We still can't get into the second floor because Willow's not opening up the door.
Alright, copy that. Alright guys, make some more noise.
Is it time to bring the finger out again? We'll go a different way this
Think
time.
about. Let's let's just beat the horn and let's just start yelling, get some real human voices going.
Good idea, because it was very hard to hear communications with the music on.
Okay.
Okay.
So the second chance continues to drift around Go Island here on the side. Are you intending to drive in here into this section here to be closer, or to be kind of sitting in around that area?
I'm hoping just to do like a kind of a slow drive by.
That's what you did last time.
Yeah, basically what I did last time, that us yelling.
Okay,
and
all right.
honking.
The second chance pulls into the inlet between Go Island and the Marine Discovery Centre. And Chloe, outside, all of a sudden, you hear among that chorus of voices yelling. And you recognize those voices, those yells, to be those of your friends.
Friends are strong.
His friends are strong.
Sorry,
yeah.
we've got time.
Yeah. Okay, yes. So, yeah, these calls come through. And how like, you're all yelling at this point? You're all standing on the second chance?
And yelling, listening.
Yeah, are you yelling as well?
Partly, I'm still keeping an eye on the ocean.
I know, it's non-committal yelling. It's like, yeah.
There we go. There we go.
And occasionally you think you hear it.
And when I hear,
you don't.
When I hear kind of like a lull, when like a few seconds after we stop to hear.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, you chuck in a beep, and you can all hear those voices as well. You can hear the chorus of these moans that just seem to be emanating from
I also
out
don't
here.
know what they're doing.
What? Who's doing the things or them?
Yeah, the things. Are they like moving?
They are. They're around the front. That bashing noise, that's them trying to get in, as far as I can tell.
They're not like heading away.
I haven't looked. I'm talking to you.
Sorry, I mean, like, can you
can I look?
Sorry,
Okay.
I'm fucking wasted for some reason. I don't remember.
I can tell.
And he picks up that bottle as well, takes a swig, puts it back down. He's still just in the singlet, still in the wife beater at this stage, and like kind of looks up. It's at this point actually you've never seen this before, but Jonah actually does have like a few tattoos like on his
What are
shoulder
they?
and stuff like that. He's got an anchor on one arm.
Oh, that's so cool.
You can't quite make out the other one. It's quite
It's not
faded
down
as
here,
well.
is it?
No.
Sorry.
Yeah. So he looks out. He says,
Fuck it. Fuck. They're moving.
Oh, I thought it was going to be a bad fuck.
It's a good fuck for now.
Okay.
all right.
It's working. Thank you, because there were a lot.
As you hear Chloe radio this through, and as you're coming through here, and all of you are standing on the second chance, leaning out the windows, calling, intermittently, Scott chucking in those beeps, you see emerging from the tree line and falling down onto the cliff face below a large number of people, or at least what once were people. These are people that seem to have whole hands missing, arms missing, large pieces, but this thing that seems to be what's sticking with the majority of them, they all seem to have this very grey tone to all of them, where the colour palettes that they once had have kind of been faded, and they all seem to be becoming this kind of like monotone mass as they drop over, but intermittently as they do drop down, these kind of like kind of dark goopy blood starts to
Sorry,
flow
when you
from
say
them.
that, do you mean their clothing or their skin?
Their clothing and their skin.
Oh, okay. Maybe they're sun-bleached.
Okay, and they continue to drop down onto this ledge here, and it's a decent drop down as well. There is a ladder that leads down from here that's kind of surrounded by this steel cage, and some of them get caught up in it as they fall down, dislocating limbs and falling down and limply trying to get back up like marionettes, and just slowly kind of like trying to lurch out towards you, some just crawling, but all fall. Some don't get back up after falling down, seemingly having done a severe amount of damage to their head, you imagine. But as others do fall on top of them and soften the blow, the others do get up and start to move towards the second chance as you continue your chant, your shouts, your yells.
So some of the ones that hit really hard, are they getting back up as well, or are they down?
Yes, some are getting back up.
And
All seem to be moving very slowly towards all of you.
so they're going to try going to the water.
It seems that way, but it hasn't been much time. They seem to just be coming straight up towards you. And as this continues, and as you continue up your shout, continue up your calls, they start to drop.
I'm going really slowly
Yep.
at this stage. Probably using just the general momentum, like to
Yes.
kind of just propel forward.
To
but-
drift through. Yeah. So eventually, when they do make it to the edge of the lip here, they drop down into the water and they drop fast. You see one or two kind of bob back up ever so slightly, but the majority of them seem to drop down, and they don't come back up.
Alright. How deep is that? Like, are they just... I don't know how deep
The good
it is.
thing about Go Island is that it's actually pretty clear, and you can see quite well the water beneath. That car's not driving past.
Was
That's
that the
you.
horn on
That's
the boat?
that's him with the horn on the boat,
Yeah.
Yes, guys,
horning
fine.
away. And you can see some of the ones that are in the water that are deeper down, and they seem to be kind of moving in the direction of the noise still. Perhaps the turbulence from the motor or something. Something's drawing them towards you still. You can make out these shapes that seem to be kind of like slowly trying to like move towards you underneath the water. And the fish around them jet and dart away.
Do we slowly drag them out a bit further?
One batch of the currents will do more work than they will, but the problem is the currents can
Bring
push
them
them back.
Yeah. Well, we can't control the current, so look, let's just try slowly drag them out so that they can speed out a bit further.
Yeah.
Again,
I
we'll
was
loop back around. Go on.
Continue the same way out, and I'm just doing a loop again.
Maybe get a bit more of a heavy arc on it, and want to radio through and go. So before we do that, right, is this what's it like there, guys? Are they all gone? Are you hearing anything?
Is it like quiet? Are they all for the most part gone?
Jonah, hearing the call, looks back out. Door's bloody clear. We look okay.
Doors clear, we look good, my dude.
Okay, we'll take.
Chloe
our time.
sounds quite drunk to you.
How are you guys doing, by the way? I feel I didn't even ask. That was very rude of me. How are you guys doing?
I
Who
turn
let
off my
Chloe
movie.
who let Chloe sniff alcohol? Just hold the bottle and drink.
Okay. All right. What's the intention from here?
Just doing.
Others they just drop, and the ones that start to try and get towards the boat, they seem to just slip beneath the water, and just become like these things that are drifting and trying to like move towards you. But you can see as the current naturally does flow through here, it does pick them and starts almost carrying them at the same speed the boat is drifting. But they seem to be drifting along and out.
Let's follow the current so they don't try to fight against it.
Okay, I look at the currents on the monitor, and I will just.
Okay. You're not getting an accurate reading. Looking at that.
Well, I know it's not accurate.
Well, it doesn't seem to give you an accurate reading. It doesn't seem to give you a reading at all.
Okay.
So it was, yeah, whatever way they've been pushed. Generally, it'd be like, let's go this way.
Then just
Okay.
loop round back.
The boat, the general flow of the boat, and it seems to be the shadows. You can see them. It's essentially trailing where the boat is, the flow of the boat is, and as you get further out, it gets darker and darker, and eventually you can't see those shapes beneath the water anymore.
Just take a wide loop around
Yeah,
and
I'm
go
just
on.
pretty much just taking a wide loop around, go on. Yeah.
Okay, yep. You start to loop around.
Rating that through, like what we're doing. Oh, they're coming out this way. Can't see them anymore.
Chloe, you hear that?
You
And as
guys
you
did a really good job. That was really good. Thank you. Thank you, you guys.
as you come back around with a second chance here, you can see like on the rock, the ones that did fall have remained stationary. Just these bodies just dropped and smashed and splashed all over that area. The best of what you can tell, there doesn't seem to be any still there. There is one that you can see that's actually still stuck in the frame of the ladder that doesn't seem to be moving around, or at least trying to. It's tangled in there at this stage.
Yeah. We'll clear that one up later on. Keep an eye on it. Having people on the boat is handy if you guys want to stay on the boat for a bit. Radio through, like, hey, can someone grab the dinghy and come out and get us?
He takes the active RT from you.
Okay, I'm not.
Yeah, look, me and Frank will come down now, and we'll sort you out.
Copy that.
All right, hands the RT back towards you.
What is that for? What is that for?
Should have taken the oars.
Okay, all right. And so with that, Frank and Jonah leave upstairs. It's now just you and Lulu up here by yourselves. Everyone else, you assume, is on the second level. The two head down, leaving you up here.
I make idle conversation with Lulu.
Okay. She idly responds to
Lovely
you.
weather we're having.
So what's the deal with you and Jonah?
Idle conversation.
That isn't exactly idle conversation.
You didn't hear me tell Scott I was making idle conversation.
No, but she also tried to.
You asked me if I would like to initiate idle conversation with you.
All right, sorry.
agreed.
I'm very drunk, Lulu.
I can tell.
I just think whatever this is, it's very nice and it's cute, and I'm happy for you.
Save your energy for now.
Okay.
Okay. It takes some time, but eventually you do see Jonah and Frank emerging on the beach. And Frank seems to have much more of like a slowness to him. Jonah's still going on, just wearing a wife beater. And they push the titanium ducky back down into the water and both jump into it. Getting it on, they drive towards the second chance.
Stop. You do a disgusting.
God, you're terrible. All right. If you had any sigils left, I mean, actually, you do have sigils left. I can take yours.
Fuck, you're the only one with
Wow.
sigils. This game was intense.
Wow. Holy crap. Okay. Yeah.
Alright, that's.
Okay, you make it there. Jonah's like, right, who's going? Who's staying?
I'm going this time.
Roger.
Scott, you're alright here by yourself?
Yeah.
Righty, mate. Okay. Jump on then, the three of you.
So, Nick, Skulk, and Jake, you jump on the boat with Frank and Jonah and start driving back towards the shoreline, bringing the boat up a decent way up the shore. You then start your walk back up towards here. And as you're kind of making your way up, and once you actually get towards the kind of Discovery Center region, when you kind of walk around there, you can see just the handprints that are just all over the building, and the footprints in the mud that's kind of been strewn throughout all of here. Making your way to the door, which is barricaded but has been taken down, the front door here.
I'll look for roof access.
You look for roof access
Like a
from...
ladder on the side, there's an emergency hatch. If not on this building, I go look for another building with roof access.
Okay, so you go off and start trying to do that. You search around this building here. You can't seem to see any way to get up there from the outside. And looking around the others, to best from what you can see, there isn't any easy roof access. There isn't any ladders, no kind of hatches or anything else that seem to be leading up on them. It's going to take you a little while to walk around the whole building.
I'll take my time.
Okay, you start to do that.
See, Skull? Just
Wa-
peer
walk-
off and do
yep.
that.
Okay, and yourself and Nick make your way back into the accommodation building.
Yeah, straight to level 2.
Okay. All right. Jonah and Frank are following you, and Frank's just kind of heavily breathing at this point. Okay. All right. You make it up onto the second level with everyone else, with the others. They're all behind you. So Jake and Nick, you're in the front.
What's the door? Knock on the door.
You hear Frank, out of breath, call from behind. I've tried that.
Alright, and the door opens which way?
Inwards.
Inwards.
Yes.
Okay.
Just kick it. You want to. Just do it.
Now remember, this is like the door down below, like
So
a
it's
solid
glass.
door, but with the glass window, but like that kind of height.
Come on.
Kick it.
I was about to say, you know you want to.
Yeah.
All right. Roll might for me.
Do they get the bonus because it's got heavy fireman shit on?
Yeah, fireman kicking doors.
Ah, it's true. Fireman stuff does give you a bonus to it. No,
Yeah.
no.
Bonus to kicking doors.
Only if you have the full set.
The thing is, I'm not giving you a bonus to this because you are mighty in itself. That is the bonus to it. So like you just apply your might. If it was a more rickety door, you get a bonus. It's just a standard door, so might away.
So. Oh, you bastard! 50 pass.
50 pass.
One off bloody
Okay, all right. So with a mighty kick, you kick at this door and it breaks open. Okay. All right.
Hatchet at the ready.
All right. Opening the door.
Yeah.
It's kind of swung open. You walk in, hatchet ready,
I don't like this choice of music.
and
Willow. Other names of people I know on here?
so okay. To give you an idea, what you can see, all the doors seem to be closed. One at the end seems to be slightly ajar, and you can hear. Actually, both you and Nick roll perception for me.
Fail.
Hold up.
Come on, Nick, this is your
The
thing.
dice roll has it's disappeared on me.
Oh, hang on. I'll give you perception.
65 pass.
65 pass.
Your mouse.
Oh, thank you. Sorry, no, I do not need to be doing this right now.
comes into the room. It's
Okay.
giant rats. Human rats. Sorry. Go.
Nick, you can hear what sounds like a slightly muffled voice coming from the end room. Sounds like a female
I think
voice,
she's in.
slightly
I
muffled.
think she's in the end room.
You hear
Just
this?
point down there and just walk off.
We go up and axe in hand. I want to slowly open the door.
Knife in hand.
Okay. As you're getting closer, you can hear a voice saying, "Please, no."
I go in just
Okay. How quickly do you go in?
pretty fast.
What's your athletics?
69.
Okay. Yeah, I almost don't even need to. How do I forget that? You open the door very quickly. You rush in, hatchet at the ready. And Willow is standing over the bed. Jen is lying in the bed. And Willow has what looks to be a syringe in her hand.
Grab, tackle.
And she has Jen's hand in her arm. And it looks like she's about to inject her with something.
Tackle.
You run in, you go to tackle.
Yeah,
Okay,
I
alright.
drop the hatchet. I'm just.
Go ahead and roll grapple. You're charging, you get a plus 20 to your roll.
Do I get significant because I have a bonus of getting in there real fast and scaring her?
No, she's surprised, so she's going to get a negative to her defense, but we'll see.
Past 35.
Past 35?
Oh, hold on. Wait, that was what was my addition? Just 28.
Plus 20 for
to
charging.
your roll, not to your damage.
Yeah, to your roll.
The roll.
Which you
Extra
beat us
number.
You've
in
already
dice.
succeeded. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I was thinking
35,
of
yeah?
what's over 100, which doesn't go over 100. Yeah.
20.
No, I don't even need to roll the other one. Okay, she's completely caught off guard by this. And you rush in.
Some random fireman coming. So fuck.
Yeah, fireman gear on, you rush towards her and you grab hold of her. Was your intention to keep on pushing forwards or just kind of like restrain her?
Yeah, so I'm not trying to really squash her, but I want to just grab her and then move her away and then just fucking hold her and go, what's going on?
Okay, so you can hold her and you're saying what's going on, and she seems like she's not entirely there. She's just fucking. No,
Can I
you need to let me do it. And she's like trying to like look around
I'm just
towards you.
Holding her.
Okay.
Just stop. Just. We're all safe now. Just stop.
Me too.
We're all safe. We're all safe. We're all safe.
We're not. They're outside.
Nick, chick, Jen.
They're
We're all
outside.
safe. They're gone. We got rid of them.
Okay,
No,
we're going
it's
to
gonna
check
be
G.
like the others.
No, we got them.
No.
We got them.
It's too late.
It's
It's
gonna
too
be
late.
okay. We got
It's
them.
too late. She just continues, just like again and again. Just it's too late. It's too late.
It's not.
It's
We've
too
done
late.
it. We've done it. We're all safe.
And she just kind of like, and you
Not
can
cheap.
actually feel like her heart's racing at this point, and she slowly just starts to, from hyperventilating, to seem to like calm down. And Nick, on the bed, you can see a very, very weak-looking Jen just looking up towards all of you.
So she's conscious, yeah?
Willow goes kind of limp in your arms.
I sort of put her on the ground. Just chuck the syringe somewhere
Okay.
under the cabinet. And I just want to really focus on Willow.
Okay.
I just don't want to, I take my helmet off because it's obviously got the visor down,
Yeah.
so take that off so she can see me.
Mm-hmm.
Be like, it's okay. I'm just repeating it,
Like her eyes kind of like almost roll back slightly at this point. Like her eyes are kind of closed open. She's just breathing a little bit more calmly now, but she's just slumped like into the corner.
Nick wanted to check on Jen. Can we do that?
Okay, Nick, you're looking at Jen. She seems to be responsive, but she just seems to be exhausted. And she just looks up towards you and she says, "Water. I need water."
Okay. I'll
Sorry, that was
try and
water.
find
Just
some
so,
fresh water.
yeah. You heard Nick.
Not
yeah.
what up, what up. I'll go find her some fresh water.
In my backpack. Would I hear that?
Okay.
Yeah, you do. You
Straight
do.
out and
Okay.
give it straight to Nick.
All right. You give it straight to Nick, and Nick, you give her the water, and she
Yep.
like splutters for a second, but she
I
takes it, and
Help her
yeah,
drinking it.
yeah, she drinks, she takes it in, and she's just breathing quite like shallowly at this point. And she looks towards you and James. I'm okay. I'm okay.
Is Frank with us?
Frank and Jonah. Yes, they are. They're both standing at the door frame, and they're
Okay,
both just kind of wide
Keep an eye
eyed.
on Willow. Why don't you get the syringe, and
Alright.
I'll go check on other people.
Yeah, alright.
Okay. Jonah goes in and takes the syringe, puts it on the side, and Frank's just kind of like standing over Willow, and he's kind of just got like his hands in his head, like hands on his head at the moment, just looking down. Jake, you head back into the hallway.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, opening the door.
She's barricaded them in.
That's my mistake. The doors are here.
yeah.
Okay.
So those people are safe, right? So it's like,
You open the door. It's very dim in here. The curtains are closed. You can't quite see precisely what's going on inside here. But you open the door, and there seems to be someone in the bed. The sheets are kind of like pulled up quite tightly on them.
take my glove off, pull the sheet down, and go for the
Jugular.
throat. Yeah, for the.
I mean, literally.
Yeah, I am.
What? You are reaching for the jugular?
Yeah.
Okay.
To check the pulse
Actually, the carotid artery.
Okay.
with my fist.
All right.
That
You
long consonant dimension.
you kind of pull it back, and you see that this person here is Quentin, and you go to reach for the pulse. Nothing.
He was a blood kid, right?
Put that.
Yes.
Cover him back up, and then go to the next room.
Next room, Fraser. Same
Gone.
situation. Gone.
Again, cover up, close the door. Next room.
Next room, same situation. You go through all the other rooms in here and all the other people that have been in this area. And each one of them, as you go in, still.
Chloe 2.
No life.
I would probably yell, but then muffle myself.
Yep. The moment does overtake you, and after like everything you've been through today, after everything you've been through yesterday as well, it hits you, and the realization starts to kind of like sink into the rest of you that are there as well. To Nick, you have the same realization after Jake's gone through these rooms, and you hear his reaction, and you see that the others are all still in their rooms as well. Roll perception for me, Jake and Nick. You're going to get a plus 15 to this.
15 or 15?
Plus 15.
77. Oh yeah, that's on the money.
That's good.
Really?
But you got plus 15 though.
So it doesn't count. It has to be your modified skill.
Oh,
I'm
Balls.
so sorry.
He's
I'm
not
so
getting
sorry.
well, 77 pass still.
That's a very good pass.
4 pass.
Not a very good pass, but
That's-
it's
You, Jake, you,
pass.
Jake, you hear a muffled sound, but Nick, you hear a sound as well. You hear it much more clearly, and you can tell it's coming from one of the rooms down the end, and you hear it coming from one of the cupboards that are in here.
Go straight for it.
You hear this?
Yeah,
and-
I'll dart off after it.
Okay, opening the door inside here, you find the two children, and they're both looking up towards you. This is Olivia and Elsa.
I just grab them both, and I'm gonna take them upstairs.
Okay. All right. In this room here is the...
And again, you're safe. You're safe.
Okay. All right. You take them back upstairs. And I'll also note as well, there is a body in here, and it is of someone that wasn't showing signs of sickness before, and that was Amber, who's the mother of Olivia. So you take them upstairs to this room here, and at the same thing, like Frank and Jonah, like after hearing the noise and going to check the other rooms, they see, and there's just a silent kind of disbelief in them, and Frank just kind of slumped down in the hallway, and Jonah's just kind of pacing backwards and forwards at this point as well.
I want to take those kids straight to Lulu.
Oh, when Jake gets close to the room that me and Lulu are in, he probably hears me crying.
Okay.
For any
Alright.
particular reasons that you don't know
I'm
what's going
very
on?
drunk and I miss Dan.
Yeah. Okay.
Like, I was going to say that even before
Yeah.
this happened, but I thought
Okay.
I'd let that play out.
Okay, you bring them up there to Lulu and the others, and you all have a moment to grieve.
I guess what happened?
Not now. I'll tell you when the kids are here.
And as
I want
this...
to leave them with them. Just before we finish, I want to go back to the beach to Scott to tell him in person.
Okay. Alright. You take the titanium ducky out towards the second chance. You pull up along the back. You see Jake coming out there by himself. He
I'm already crying out of
pulls
character.
up. He pulls up next to the boat and climbs on and climbs up towards the cockpit where you are, and begins to tell you exactly what happened. You can use your own words if you wish, or
Obviously crying.
yeah.
It's she thought. Well, I thought they were surrounded. She was clearly tired and exhausted. Maybe I think she thought she was saving them. We got there in time to save Jen,
She did that with all of them.
and the two kids. They're fine.
No, the syringe.
I'm assuming so.
Okay.
As this conversation is
No one
happening
else's
between
fault.
Mm-hmm.
It's no one else's fault, Scott. She did it. It's her responsibility. It's no one else's. I hope Scott.
and as
I'm
you're having
Repeating. It's
Yeah.
no one else's.
That's
Yeah.
not ugly.
as you're having
Yes, true.
as you're having your moment, Skulk, as you're going around this building, around the others, you make your way around the other side of the accommodation, and you do see a way up,
The one that they're in.
the one that they're actually in. It's slightly elevated off the ground. You didn't see it immediately because of the foliage that's around there, so it's a little bit of a jump to get to it. But
I know there's heaps of barrels in that place.
Okay.
And crates and stuff. So I
Yeah.
just go and just
you
grab
pull
them.
something out because jumping with the one's not going to be so easy.
Yeah.
But you do.
He's just like,
Yeah,
full
yeah.
one on pull-ups.
Yeah. So you've managed to find something, you drag it along, and with that arm you pull yourself up onto that first rung and you start to make your way up towards the roof of this here. It takes a little bit to make your way up there, but you manage to do it. And once you're on top and once you're looking in and around this area, in the distance you can see Little Barrier Island, and looking further out you can see the bay that stretches around here. And off in the distance, off back towards Auckland City, at least in the region that you think it is, back towards the urban regions, you can see the same trail of smoke that was seen the day before. Activity happening elsewhere in the world. The idea that people are still out there, people that you might not have seen or even known, are having their own experience, their own fight to survive.
Can I do one thing before we finish?
Oh, you can do many things.
I take the big radio out of my backpack
Okay.
and I scroll and look for channels that people are if anyone's talking on any channels.
Okay. As you do
Can I
scroll
roll
through,
for it?
you can. You roll luck, and
I've got
it will just be
signals
flat.
and
It'll just be flat.
So
Hold
I've
up a sec. I think I'm freeze framed.
You are freeze framed, my
But
friends.
you are looking very.
You are looking very
Why?
pensive. We can
Very
still hear
pensive.
you. We can still hear you, so you're right.
Yeah,
Go there,
okay.
we go.
You're
Hey,
back.
Hey.
welcome back.
Where am I? 3 pass. So I did one signal down.
Okay. All right.
I'm happy for that.
You're scrolling through. You catch the end of a conversation as you're scrolling through. And it's difficult to make out what's being said. It's quite garbled. But the end of it that you hear is someone saying, "You fucking what?" It's garbled, but you can just make it out. And there seems to be a conversation happening between two people. Continues on for a time. I'll tell you after this what's been said, but that will remain a mystery for everyone else, everyone listening, and the others that are here as well. But this is where we will be ending this chapter. A ride, to say the least, for everyone. But after all of this, after a day of fleeing your home, you're in another one. And you don't know whether this place will be something that you'll, be in for a day, a week, a month, or even years. You can't tell right now. You've lost a lot. But there are still some of you alive. And those of you that started together are still here. Some with pieces missing, but still remaining whole, holding on to yourself, who you were before all of this. A difficult task to do in this new and unforgiving world, but there is still an element of you all in there as well. And so, with this second chance, this place here, founded upon some very unfortunate events, you have that chance to start again, to have that second chance. And it's up to all of you whether you take it, or if you jump back on that boat and you keep on going. We'll find out which you decide in the next chapter as we return, and things might be looking a little different in the next. And so with that, we're going to be signing off for this chapter. I've been Rycon. This has been the team. Congratulations to everyone. You've all made it through.
Fuck you.
It was a hell of a chapter. I've been Rycon. You have all been awesome. And until next time, stay breathing.
Thank you all for joining us for the season finale of Season 2. Now, this isn't the end of Zealand. This is just the end of the season. The team will be returning in Season 3. However, during the space between the next 2 seasons, 5 years will have advanced in the world of Zealand. And when we join our survivors again, they themselves may be very different. The world most certainly will be. I truly do hope you've enjoyed the second season of our adventure together, and this was a difficult chapter and a very difficult end for me. An emotional one, to be sure. But I thank you all for joining us. And seeing as we have reached the end of the season, we are going to be doing another live stream Q&A, where the cast of Zealand will be sitting down to answer your questions. I'm sure there are many things that we've left in the air that we will want to discuss, especially after this episode. And so please do join us Friday evening for that. Times will become available throughout the week. I really do hope you can make it along. But until then, stay breathing.